Hey everyone, what is going on? So we are doing more Ultra League battles in the Go Battle League, and I have 5 battles for you guys today. So for the first battle we're using Venusaur, Empoleon, and Swampert, and for the rest of the videos I actually switch it up. I remove the Swampert and add in Togekiss because I didn't really want to have 2 water types. I know that Empoleon is not going to be weak to grass, it's going to be neutral, but it's still a relatively good threat to Empoleon, so I did go ahead and remove that Swampert, and we'll see how we do things. So this is going to be a budget team. All of these are going to cost 10,000 starters to unlock a second move. So yes, you do need the community day moves on the starter Pokemon like Venusaur, Empoleon, or even Swampert should you go with that. So those might be relatively difficult to get if you hadn't already gotten them during community day. But I mean, these are some of the best Pokemon to use in these leagues. They're the best moves, right? So that's what we have going for us. And as for the Togekiss, well, I've mentioned it before. If you unlock a second move on a Togepi, it's only going to be 10,000 starters instead of the 50,000 it would be as a Togetic or a Togekiss. So you do want to unlock the second move as a Togepi. Now, funny story, I actually evolved my Togepi into a Togekiss before unlocking the second move because I didn't realize it. So that's unfortunate for me. It did cost me an extra 40,000 starters because of that, but nonetheless, that's what we've got going for us. And then of course you do have to power them up, but again, all the second moves are going to be cheap, and I don't think none of them should be too expensive to power up unless if you have a really low CP one. Maybe try to get a lucky Togepi if you can. Do a lucky trade, maybe you'll get one. If not though, that might cost you a little bit to power up, but other than that, I think everything should be okay. So overall, I think it's a pretty solid team, and you've probably seen a lot of budget teams with just starter Pokemon. You could definitely do that. You know, I was thinking of Typhlosion as well, which is a really good option. Charizard is good. Regardless, we're going to go ahead and lose game 1, excuse me. We do go ahead and lose that, so that was a good game on my opponent's end. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the next game. So as I said, I did remove the Swampert for the rest of these battles. I'm still leading with Venusaur though, and we are going to go ahead and catch the lead. So she's going to have to pull the switch into that Venusaur, and I switch into Togekiss. I don't know why I did that. That was a terrible move. I'm basically giving up my Togekiss. I should have stayed in with Venusaur. I don't know why I did that. Now, yeah, it was just a bad play. I'm just being honest. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, we do go 4-1 in this set of 5, so I did lose the first one and win the next 4. So I do win them. I don't think I was playing as well as I could have been, though, because this was before work, and I wasn't running late, but I still had to get ready, so I was just doing my battles because I want to get them in. So perhaps not playing as well as I could have been, but that's okay. We still won it, but I'm just saying, like, you know, I could have probably played better, but either way, shouldn't have given up that Togekiss, but it is what it is. She's going to bring in a Togekiss of her own, so pretty good for me despite giving up that Togekiss, just because we have the Venusaur, which is going to hit for super effective damage against this Togekiss, as well as doing super effective damage against the Swampert. However, I do pull the switch into my Empoleon because we will be resisting charm damage. I do shield this one up. That would have been neutral. Wouldn't have taken us out, but I decided to shield it because charms are still doing a pretty good amount of damage to us. And my Empoleon will hit with Hydro Cannon. She does switch into her Swampert, so I knew she'd have to expel her energy. She wouldn't be able to save it for my Venusaur because I would just be able to do damage and get off damage and knock out the Swampert eventually, right? So we do get off this Hydro Cannon, and that will not knock out Swampert, but we're trying to get the Waterfalls to knock it out, and we're actually able to do so before she gets off another Hydro Cannon. Maybe she was trying to farm up a little bit. I feel like she was at a Hydro Cannon, but I could be wrong. So she's going to bring in that Togekiss, and we're going to feint it. So we do win that despite that mistake of switching in the Togekiss against the Venusaur. But definitely it could have been a costly mistake, but that's okay. We're going to jump into the next game. I do lead with Venusaur again against an opposing Venusaur. So I think I lead with Venusaur in every game in this battle. I do like it as a lead. I'm going to go ahead and go for the Sludge Bomb. Now, one thing my team doesn't really handle that well is going to be Registeel or Steel types in general. We do have neutral damage with Empoleon if we're going for the Waterfall as well as the Hydro Cannon, but outside of that, we're really not doing much. So he's going to pull the switch into Giratina, so trying to catch my Sludge Bomb. Nice play on his end because he does successfully catch it, but this allows me to switch in my Togekiss, and I am just trying to farm down that Giratina. He will be able to get off a charge attack, but definitely going to go ahead and put up the shield because I don't want to get I wouldn't have been taken out, but I don't want to get hit with a lot of damage. So we do win that lead, but we are down a shield. Let's see what he decides to bring in. I'm going to immediately go for the Ancient Power. It will be a Swampert, so this is not going to do much to Swampert, but we're hoping for the boost. We do not get it. Charm damage is definitely adding up. He's not going to allow it, so he's going to get off a Hydro Cannon, although this Hydro Cannon will not be enough to knock me out. So I'm just going to continue to try and farm down. I knew I wouldn't be able to knock it out with Charm, so I'm going to allow my Togekiss to go down at this point because I do have a Venusaur ready to go. And a lot of people love Swampert, guys. That's why I love my Venusaur. So I do open my switch menu, but he's not going to pull the switch. And he still has 2 shields, so he is down to his last Pokemon, but he still has 2 shields, although that Pokemon is really weak. So I am going to go ahead and go for the Frenzy Plant. He has to shield this, right? So there's really no reason for me not to. He will get off a charge attack. I am going to allow it to go through. I was thinking it would be Sludge Bomb, but it's a Frenzy Plant, so we survive it. But I'm going to switch into my Empoleon and try to just farm down at this point because, well, for one, I knew I could take a Frenzy Plant, plus I also had a shield. So my goal is just to farm down with Waterfalls, and even if we get hit with another Frenzy Plant, we do, but we're going to be able to take it. Now, as you could see, or you're about to see, it's going to do a good amount of damage. It does a lot of damage, actually, to Empoleon, despite being neutral to it. That's why I didn't want Empoleon as well as Swampert, but we're able to win that one, so it was a very good game. Very good game, so we're going to jump into another one. And man, guys, reaching rank 10 is so difficult. So let's go ahead and see what happens. He does lead with Alolan Muck. I am pulling the switch. I don't want to get hit by anything that Muck has to throw at me, so I'm going to switch into my Empoleon. He does switch into Swampert. Now, this is a good matchup for us unless we're hit with the Earthquake, so we do have to be careful. But he will shield that, and I knew this was too soon for an Earthquake, so I'm definitely going to go ahead and take it. We're able to take that Hydro Cannon quite nicely. So he's probably going to go for another one, but we're able to get off one before he is able to, so that's good for us. He's going to be neutral to it, whereas we resist it, so that's definitely good. And I'm going to allow this Hydro Cannon to go off. Let's see if it's going to be enough. It is not. It's close. One more Mud Shot is going to be able to finish us off, so we feint that Swampert with Venusaur. And the Muck is coming in. I pull the switch immediately, and we're able to catch what I assume is going to be a Dark Pulse, as it is. That's what I kind of figured it was. So we do get that Dark Pulse onto my Togekiss instead of having to worry about like a Gunk Shot or a Sludge Wave. Going to be another Dark Pulse, but I didn't want to risk it. So we're just trying to farm down this Alolan Muck, and we're able to do so. So we do get that Muck out of the way, and Giratina comes in. Going to go ahead and go for the Ancient Power. I love seeing that Giratina against my Togekiss. So Ancient Power will be shielded. We actually get the buff. Now, did we need it? I'm pretty sure we did not need it. He's actually going to run from that. But good game to my opponent. Really well played. And we're able to secure that win. So we're going to jump into, I believe, the last one. I'm not really too sure. So I'm leading with Venusaur, and we catch a Swampert. So a lot of people love leading with Swampert. So one of the reasons I love leading with Venusaur into Lapras, and I'm going to go ahead and just go for my Frenzy Plant. I was getting ready to switch. I decided to go for the Frenzy Plant to take a shield. We do take a shield. And I'm charging up energy, and then I decide to bail, able to catch the charge move on that switch, Ice Beam. That's what I was going for. We're able to do it, successfully catch that Ice Beam. So I was proud of myself, but no, I'm just messing around. So we're going to go ahead and go for the Hydro Cannon. Now, generally we do beat Lapras because we're going to be able to resist Surf and double resist Ice Beam. So as you can see, we do resist Surf, although Lapras is also going to be able to resist Hydro Cannon, so it's I'm not really sure who wins this matchup, to be honest. I think it's Empoleon, but maybe it depends what moves the Lapras has. But either way, he's going to bail into Swampert, and that's totally fine with me. I'm going to go ahead and I think I allow this. Do I allow it? Yeah, I do allow this to go through. It does knock me out, but I know I have the Venusaur in the back, and I'm going to go ahead and I do go for the Frenzy Plant because I didn't want him to get off another charge move. So that's why I do use up my energy, and we're going to wait to see what comes in. Going to be Alolan Muck, and I'm going to go ahead and switch into my Togekiss, and he's just charging up. You know, I have to shield this. I have 2 shields to his none. I have to shield, no doubt about it. Going to be a Gunk Shot. We're not going to take that. And he's not switching out, which is good for me. He switches into Lapras. So I do decide to shield this, because if it's an Ice Beam, it's going to do a lot of damage. It is an Ice Beam, so we do shield that correctly. and we do knock out that Lapras. And I think at this point, yeah, I'm just clicking on my Ancient Power just to try and get off that damage against this Alolan Muck. And are we going to be able to knock him out? We do knock him out, and we do take that win. So it was very well played. So we do go 4-1 in this set with Empoleon. And shout out to PokeAK. I did see him use Empoleon as well. Kind of got me thinking about it. It was fun to use. You know, so we'll see what we're going to use for the next video. So we get an Oshawott, unfortunately. I really want another Scraggy. But we do have the Oshawott in this battle. And you'll see that my ranking, I went 4-1 and my ranking only goes up like 4 points. So, or 6 points. I think it's 4 points. But either way, that's going to be it for this video, guys. I will see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye. Thank you so much for checking out my latest video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter. If you like this video, check out one of my other videos that you'll probably enjoy.